I'd like to understand the purpose. Well, I do understand the purpose behind the lack of audit trails. They don't want the people who work for the phone company to know what they're doing. But I feel like there's another way to design it so that that problem doesn't exist. And so I think that basically we can achieve an architecture that satisfies everyone's interests. But I don't know if we'll be able to have that dialogue or how we will have it, except coming here and talking about it and hoping that people are listening. Sir? So yeah, there's lots of thoughts in here that I didn't get out when I was speaking. So GNU Radio, for example, is this really cool project that lets you build software-defined radios. So a protocol analyzer, like, back in the day, you could go and get a phone and a couple of alligator clips, and you could go open a junction box and hook up to a phone line and listen to people's calls. It was that simple. But now, if they're doing VoIP over DSL, you have this whole protocol stack you have to parse, and so it's far more complicated. You can't just plug in a $15 device. There are companies that sell protocol analyzers that are used for that purpose, but they're very expensive, and so they're difficult to get your hands on. And so hopefully the inaccessibility of them has significantly reduced the amount of illegal wiretapping that happens. But if GNU Radio can do that same kind of protocol analysis, then it could peel apart the ADSL layer and peel apart the VoIP layer, and so you could then again get to the point where you take this laptop running open source software to a junction box and plug it in, and you can listen to people's stuff. And so that's a technical direction I'm just pointing out where we sort of, things got really hard because the protocols got complicated and the systems required to parse them are expensive, but over time it may get cheap again to parse those protocols. And so again, it's an argument for why it makes sense to do link layer encryption, because ultimately, if you're not doing link layer encryption, somebody can get access to the infrastructure and listen to the calls. So, any other questions, or should I shut it down? Thanks, everybody.